Hey, how's it going?
Very good, man. Awesome. Can you see us?
Yep,
Sweet. How's the sound?
everything sounds good. How's it on your guys' end?
Sounds good too. Awesome.
Sweet.
It's nice to not have an immediate audio problem when we start. That's
Yeah.
that's a new one with Skype, man. So I always try to make sure I know what's going on. I watched your fight, but I couldn't remember the guy's name for the podcast today, so I looked it up on SureDog. They didn't update your damn record, dude. SureDog's tripping.
I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah.
What was his name? I don't know. I've been hitting the head too many times. LaShawn Alcox.
Okay. Yeah, he was a tough dude. You were kicking him in the face, and he was just coming forward.
Yeah. I mean, I think I was a little too focused on the striking on that one, but is what it is.
The striking looked good. I thought you were keeping distance, and obviously I'm not an expert, but it was fun to watch. You were piecing him up for the first little bit.
Yeah, I felt good. I mean, he had some professional boxing fights and stuff too. So I mean, it's not like he wasn't a good striker or anything. At least not decent.
Yeah, for sure. It seemed like he had quite a bit of skill. So how was it getting to sort of be a featured fight on the UFC Fight Pass?
It was cool. It kind of I'd say it wasn't as hyped up as Contender, but I mean, it's still cool. It's cool to be flown out somewhere and then pretty much get a free trip, but you got to fight some dude at the end.
How was it? You basically flew across the whole country, didn't you?
Yeah, it was kind of a bitch. We missed our first flight, and then they were only able to get one of us on the flight. That was an hour later or whatever. So I left by myself, and my coach kind of had to wait until they got him on another flight.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. I got to Jersey at 1 a.m. by myself on the day of weigh-ins. Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. So did you have to cut much weight?
No, I did that fight at 55, which is also kind of part of why I feel like I didn't push as much as I could have, which is I don't know. I didn't have to cut any weight, which was nice. I really just kind of dieted down on the flight. I wasn't just eating as much as I could,
So, do you think you feel better when you do have to cut a little bit of weight?
Yeah. And then I get a guy who's more also kind of drained by the cutting process. He was kind of a smaller guy. I don't think he cut that much either.
Oh yeah. I guess that would give it a different dynamic, completely.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I know.
Definitely.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. I was gonna say, what were you saying about the fight?
I don't know. I felt good, and really, as far as striking goes, I couldn't be, any happier with how I handled it, at least on the feet. I think I should have forced more of the grappling, but I'm happy with it.
How do you find that balance? Because you kind of came up doing a lot of grappling, and now, it's okay, let's focus on the striking. How do you find the balance between doing what you started with and keeping your base really strong, and then learning new skills?
I don't know. It's kind of I do jiu-jitsu and striking 6 days a week, but it's just making sure that I'm maintaining what I am doing, and then I've been doing some training with a guy who's a pretty solid boxer, so we've been going to his gym and stuff. Doing that instead of just hitting mitts or whatever, kind of adding a different dynamic to it, different guys and stuff. I feel like that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, do you have any plans for the next fight, or are you kind of just waiting to hear what's next?
We're still looking for an opponent, but it's looking like I'm gonna be on island fights, kind of during spring break. I think it's I think it's in Pensacola.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Roy Jones Jr.'s promotion.
Oh, I think you're right. Is that the one that's in a ring instead of a cage?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. They put on some good fights. That would be cool to see.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. I've been trying to do some more sparring and stuff in boxing rings too. get ready for that.
That's awesome. I've seen in like the old Pride fights, they always talked it's a bit of an advantage for jiu-jitsu guys, and I know you've got a lot of great jiu-jitsu skills, like because it's harder for people to use the cage to get back up. Is that something that kind of excites you? It's kind of an equalizer where people don't have like this extra tool to get away from your skill.
Yeah, for sure. I think the ropes kind of also are better for me since I'm longer, because it's a lot easier to like corner guys. With the angles of the cage, it's easier for the guys to like try to slip out or something. But if he gets stuck in the corner, that's a big problem for him.
Yeah, for sure. I liked seeing like Nick Diaz fight in a ring, and you see that boxing style with the length comes out. Is that something like you've kind of looked at and tried to emulate?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Like if I'm gonna be fighting in a ring, as long as we find a guy, I'm gonna be on that show. But yeah, definitely trying to get sort of that Diaz style, because they're longer, just like me, and also have pretty good jiu-jitsu. So that's kind of the goal.
That's awesome, dude. So outside of fighting, I know you were saying on the first time we talked. Oh yeah, you met my brother the first time, Chris, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. The first time we talked, I know you were saying some stuff about looking forward to like maybe getting into some entertainment and doing, you see a lot of fighters doing, TV and podcasts and movies and just using their martial arts skills and knowledge and everything to, build a full career that's not just fighting. Is that something you're still kind of looking into right now?
Yeah, that's definitely still the goal. Right now I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I don't have to do too much stuff, because I think pretty quick I'm going to have to do that. I'm kind of in a nice phase where I don't have to have like another job or anything, but I'm also not like too deep where I'm doing like stuff like all the time for this, aside from like regular training and everything.
Yeah, that sounds good, because I would think if you're really just trying to grow your skills, if you were working on so many other things, it could distract from like the real developmental phase to get to like your prime and be able to like contend against the top guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice. So, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that like with this schedule, I can just like take a nap if I want, like during the day, and just hang out. That's pretty sweet. Definitely, a lot of people my age don't get that option.
Yeah, I mean, they also don't, fly across the country to fight some trained MMA and boxer guy in a cage. So, I think you're earning it probably.
Well, for sure. I'd say the beatings are worth it.
Oh yeah. So,
hey.
Nice. What kind of dog do you have?
German Shepherd. I got her actually a couple weeks before Contender.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, we're getting texted on here. Sorry, we keep getting texted on the message here.
Oh, no.
Let's take it off. No worries. Let's it off. All right. No problem.
We should be good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just didn't want it to keep like buzzing when we're trying to talk. So, I wonder, one of the big things I've been following, and I wonder if you have too, is Ben Askren coming into the UFC, and just his polite trash talk and just dismantling of everybody. Have you been following that?
Yeah, he's definitely he's a funny guy. He's probably going to be one of the people that can, I don't know if like McGregor level, but just like come in with like already like a huge amount of like fame and kind of like a lot of star power, I guess. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they use him.
Yeah, I know he's fighting Robbie Lawler. What do you think about that fight?
I think that's a hard fight for Robbie. I mean, it's a good fight either way, but I wouldn't want to try to out wrestle Askren. It's I feel like it's similar to like anyone fighting Damian Maia, where there's like such a specialist that it's like people just like have to avoid one entire area of stuff like completely.
Yeah, that's a great point. Maia just came back this last weekend and got the rear naked choke on Lyman Good. I think that was how I finished it, right, Chris?
The standing.
Oh yeah,
yeah, standing.
He had the back. I mean, the classic Maia. He gets to the cage, he slithers over, gets his back. The backpack gets his hooks in, and it's over. It's crazy seeing guys that are so good at one thing that people know it's coming and they still can't stop it.
Yeah, that's definitely the goal as far as my jiu-jitsu and stuff is. Like one day, just kind of be like one of those guys that are up there like that.
I also just heard Gilbert Melendez was talking that Kron Gracie is going to debut in the UFC. What do you think about that Gracie lineage? I mean, I just heard that today. I mean, it's coming back to the UFC. To me, that's super exciting.
Yeah, wasn't Kron in Bellator for a while, or was it? Oh, it might be Neiman.
Yeah, I think Neiman's in Bellator, and Kron was in. He might have done Island Fights as well, but I think he did Ryzen for sure. He did Ryzen because he beat Kawajiri.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting to watch. I'm always hyped to see like other jiu-jitsu guys fight. You know, that's always interesting to me.
Yeah. When you see a guy that's like such a specialist like that, I mean, do you try to emulate like their jiu-jitsu, or do you feel like it's more like your body type and your sort of style in jiu-jitsu always has to kind of go with like, you know, sort of your flow and your ideas?
I definitely have to keep it more myself because like my game's not going to be the same as someone who's like super short and jacked. Like it's real hard to like emulate styles, I feel like. And I feel like what I have right now works well for me. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say is like your favorite submission? Like if you could pick like, you know, the perfect way to tap someone out, what do you think you'd go with?
Ooh. I love like a lot of blood chokes, like triangles, guillotines, stuff like that. I'm big on those. Because I feel like those are compared to like something like an armbar or like a shoulder lock, like that's something something you could do to like kill someone. Like
yeah,
that's definitely one of those moves.
Yeah, it does have a different finality to it when you choke someone out. It's like the armbar. I mean, you saw people like Misha Tate. You know, there's fighters that'll let the arm go, and Corey Sandhagen just did it too. He lets the elbow pop, and he comes back and beats the crap out of the other guy, and you're like, okay. So sometimes when these people are tapping, it's like, I get it. I mean, I would tap for sure, but in a street fight, life or death, and they didn't tap, you might still be in trouble. With a choke, it's over.
For sure. Like even if you don't get it locked in, and it's like what Khabib did, where it's kind of like you're just gonna fuck their neck up, so it's like either or. It's definitely got the finality to it.
Yeah, what did you think of the Khabib Conor fight? Because I thought Conor fought pretty well, but Khabib is just an animal.
Yeah, I think that'd be a rough fight for anybody. Like I wouldn't want to fight Khabib. I mean, I'm looking forward more to because I feel like that one kind of played out how a lot of people thought it would, where either Conor would knock him out or he'd just get like wrestle fucked, and then you know. But I'm looking more forward to if Cerrone and McGregor happens, just like two strikers rather than a striker and a wrestler.
Yeah, I totally agree on that. I think that's like the fan friendly, especially people that have been following the sport a long time. I think Cowboy really, really deserves that shot.
For sure.
And they seem to be showing mutual respect to each other, which is cool.
Yeah, I don't think Cowboy's really someone that you can like talk shit to because he's just like a cool ass dude.
Yeah, people used to think they could, but I think that's a myth at this point because Alexander Hernandez went so hard at Cowboy, and Cowboy just made him look terrible.
Yeah.
And Hernandez is a great fighter. No disrespect to him. He beat Dariush, knocked him out in like 30 seconds. Like he's good. That's just how good Cowboy is.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's definitely a fight I want to see.
Nice. So there any other big ones coming up that kind of interest you? I know Kane's coming back.
Who?
I was going to say Kane's coming back soon, isn't he?
Oh, I think so. Yeah. It might have been. I don't remember what his last fight was. It might have been that Mexico City one, something like that. It was a while ago.
Yeah, I think that was his last one. That's so long ago. Yeah, Chris, we're gonna pull up we'll pull up the card that's coming up. I think there is one coming up this weekend. I usually keep really close track of who's fighting, but I haven't paid as much attention. But is the Adesanya?
Oh, that's coming up.
Adesanya Silva, is that the next one? Israel Adesanya Stylebender versus Anderson Silva, is that coming up here?
Oh yeah. If that's the Australia one, I think so. Because there's not the Australia one. I think this.
Right. We'll pull it up one second. Yeah, but I saw this mural of Anderson Silva with the Spider-Man mask on. Do you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one.
That was amazing. I was thinking, like just the symbolism of it. Anderson's always trying to catch people in a web, and Stylebender. Did you watch The Last Airbender?
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was kind of on the younger end of that, but yeah, I definitely saw it a little bit.
Word. See, I was kind of on the older end of that, I feel like, because I'm like 10 years older than you, so I guess we both kind of just saw a little bit of it. Oh, word. So this weekend, so February 9th, so we got Rob Whittaker, Kelvin Gastelum, Israel Adesanya, Anderson Silva, Hani Yahya, Ricky Simone, Montana De La Rosa, Nadia Kassem, and Jim Crute, Sam Alvey. So that's like the main card. But yeah, Robert Whittaker, Kelvin Gastelum, what do you think about that one? That's an interesting one because that's two guys that came up a weight class and are now like the two best in their division.
Yeah, I think that shows how much of a effect that weight cut has. Like, I feel like that definitely helped me, at least like in contender, like having a guy that like gets gassed out compared to when you're the guy who's not cutting as much weight, so you have more left in your gas tank like that. Like, it definitely seems like it's a bigger advantage than it is to be the bigger guy.
Yeah, I've heard Kelvin Gastelum talk. I think he said it after the Jacare fight. He said it wasn't that I was a better fighter a lot of the times when I win. It's just that I'm in better shape.
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely a big it's definitely a big thing if you can like keep grinding it out.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're kind of known for that at this point. Like, people put pressure on you, you put pressure on them. It's just nonstop action. Like, you're not someone who ever really sits back in a fight. It's always like, yeah, there's just a lot going on. I mean, is that just like naturally who you are when you get in the cage, or is that part of just your training, or just how it goes?
I think it's definitely a mental thing because like some people will get like that pressure and then they'll kind of wilt under it. But like I don't know, like I was always a smaller guy coming up, and then like so I think that kind of gave me the mentality of like being able to get beat up, and then like usually when I get in the cage, I'm like, oh fuck, like this is the time to fight, so I guess I'm here to fight.
Yeah. See, that's a mentality. I'm so interested because like I've never done it. Like when I was a little kid, you fight with your friends and stuff, but just like you have a date, like a couple months out, and you're prepping and just planning, and then stepping in there. It's just so fascinating.
Yeah, it's definitely like nothing else. Like I think it takes a lot of thrill out of other stuff in life because I'm so like focused on this one thing, or like I get stressed out so much for a fight, and then like it just makes everything else just seem so much easier.
Yeah, that definitely puts things in a different perspective. So did your I don't know if I asked before, did you have like family members that did martial arts, or relatives or anyone that kind of got you into it, or what was it, movies, or what even that kind of started you on that road?
Ninja Turtles.
Was it Ninja Turtles?
No,
I watched Ninja Turtles. Sure. No, like my dad just worked with my coach before he opened up the gym. Like they both worked at like the same machine shop, and then he was like, "Oh, hey, just bring your kids in," and then and I just stuck with it.
Nice. It's just, I guess that's like good fortune. You find sort of like your calling like pretty early.
For sure, especially because I live in a small town, so it's like what are the odds of having like a decent like school or whatever like in town, or like a decent gym?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we talked about last time how Rory McDonald is kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
Where he's in a small town, but he found this great gym, and that coach is still working with him now. It's like if you find the right people, it's amazing what people can accomplish like pretty quickly.
For sure. Same thing with McGregor. Like he's still with the same team. He's still with SBG, SGB, something like that.
Yeah, I think it's Straight Blast Gym.
Yeah.
Great name.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what it means. I mean, it does throw a straight left. Maybe that. I have no idea.
It's like I think it's like a chain type of thing, like a 10th Planet or like a affiliate. Because there's some in like Idaho and Montana out here that I see at like some of the local tournaments.
Oh wow, I knew there were a couple in the UK. I didn't know there were ones here. That's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming it's under the same affiliate type of thing.
It would probably have to be if it has the same name. You probably couldn't get away with that. But yeah, I heard Eddie Bravo said there's like 100 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu schools now.
10th Planet's like the style of jiu-jitsu that I feel like I want to like learn the most, or not like necessarily learn how to like do myself, but like learn how to defeat or like deal with. Because a lot of that leg lock stuff is still pretty new as far as jiu-jitsu goes, and like I definitely want to like learn more of that stuff.
Yeah, I would think since that's gotten so kind of popular in like especially like the no-gi grappling world, and then a little bit in MMA. I guess there's a few guys that are leg lock specialists. What's the guy, the Polish guy? He got cut from the UFC. He was in Bellator. I can't.
Tall guy?
No. He's a 55er.
Okay.
I can't think of his name. But he's a leg lock specialist from Poland. But he was like one of the few guys. But he ended up, a couple times he got TKO'd when he's going for the leg, and he got caught with a knee going in. I think it was Hanzanovic that caught him with the knee. But anyways, do you think there's still like a next development of the leg lock game where there's going to be this kind of key system that's going to really defeat it?
I don't know. I mean, like you see guys like Ryan Hall with like what he did to BJ Penn, and then it's like, I don't know. I think it's just kind of people getting like more comfortable with it. Like I just fuck around with it when I train with some guys, and then like I feel so much more comfortable with it than when I was just like, oh, like I don't know what to do with this. Just kind of like messing around with it. That stuff's difficult to train though, because it's like I heard somebody say that like a heel hook like starts to damage the knee like before it starts hurting. So that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, that's definitely tough. If you're basically, and that's kind of like sparring. If you're punching each other in the head, it's like you're taking that little bit of sacrifice to be in that position and train that skill, and you have to balance with how much you want to take.
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you think about that with sparring and training? Like limiting damage so you're really fresh for the fight, but also getting into that mode where you're really in tune for a fight.
I think the thing I'm most worried about is like head trauma and stuff. But like as far as injuries go, like I haven't really had too much. Just like little things that are sore, but that's kind of like all the time now. Like we actually for the last fight kind of ramped up the sparring a little more. Like we do shorter rounds, like 1 minute or whatever, but like trying to go hard, and then so that way it doesn't get too out of hand, and then you kind of get some hard sparring in there. Because there's really no cardio like fight cardio, so it's kind of it's different than like I can't just run and be prepared for a fight physically. Like you definitely have to find the fine balance of getting in that hard training, but also not destroying your body.
Yeah, I guess that's like the pro athlete's dilemma in all sports.
For sure.
But with MMA, I guess since you're controlling more of your own, training and what you're going to do, it's like you have to be really conscious of it.
For sure. There's definitely not like a system. Like MMA is still kind of, as far as training goes, like the Wild West. Because like football, they kind of have a system down, like you train with the team and everything. But jiu-jitsu, like, and fighting as a whole, like it's just kind of up to you. Like if you want to just go into a gym and spar like 7 days a week, you can do that. Or if you want to never spar, you can do that too.
Oh yeah. Hey, can you make sure your finger might be covering the microphone just a tad or touching it? Is that maybe?
Is that better?
Yeah, it wasn't. It was still pretty good. I think it was just barely. Yeah, I see that on Ariel Hawani sometimes. It says that. Dude, that's my guy. What do you think about him moving to ESPN and the UFC going over there? That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, that's definitely a good move for jiu-jitsu or for MMA, like becoming like a more recognized like sport. I feel like even though it kind of sucked as far as sponsors go, like when the UFC kind of made like a uniform type of thing, like that gave it more like more professionalism.
Yeah.
And then like the same thing with moving to ESPN rather than just doing like 12 pay-per-views a year or whatever they were doing last year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I hope it helps the fighters out and gets. I think it will, because you're going to be able to get like such a big, broad platform. More mainstream sports fans are going to see it, and so guys and girls that have something to offer that people like, whether it's in the cage or out, are going to get like real opportunities, I would think.
Yeah, for sure. I'm wondering about like the kind of more like the pay disparities. If people are going to be like, hey, this guy's also on ESPN, but he's making like 1% of what this basketball player is making. Like,
Yeah.
I wonder if that's going to make people think about that stuff.
I think that's a fair point, because it's strange to see, especially like non-combat sports, you know, the amount of money they're making, and they're on the same platform, and yeah, people are going to see that disparity and think like, I get that the audiences are a different size, but it has to be like comparable. Like the percentage, I feel like the percentage you're getting paid, you know, compared to the promoters has to be, you know, like comparable to the other leagues, you know, at the very minimum.
For sure. I'm definitely not complaining though. Like, the UFC gave me an opportunity that they didn't have to. Like, I'm getting like what a normal UFC fighter would get for like fights in the UFC, but for like all these outside fights. So they gave me like actual UFC contract, which they didn't have to.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely about that for myself.
Wow, yeah, that is great. That's cool. They're like, yeah, treating you. Yeah, that's fair, I would say, because you know, if you win a fight and you get some buzz, even though they might not be putting you on, you know, their main shows or whatever, it's still, you got to get paid. You got to, you know, train. You got to be a professional fighter.
Yeah. It's nice to be able to not have to worry about money as much anymore. Like this is the most money I've ever made, like, in my life, just doing this stuff. Well, I mean, obviously. And then, like nobody else my age is making this much money. So that's pretty sweet. Even though it's not, like, a ton, but I'm real happy with it.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. It's always good to hear that athletes are getting compensated. I know that was a big thing with Strikeforce, that they paid their top guys a ton of money. But you see what happened when they came over to the UFC, and most of them are still at the top.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Diaz isn't even fighting right now, and he's still at the top of the heap money-wise. Like,
yeah, I feel like a lot of people, like fighters who aren't necessarily at the top, will kind of like bullshit about it and like kind of get upset. But it's like at the end of the day, it's an entertainment type of thing. Like, if you're not giving the UFC like kind of what they need as far as getting like people to buy pay-per-views or like people to watch, like, then you don't necessarily like earn that same recognition that all the like higher up guys do.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess we're getting close to 30 minutes. I think that's what we did last time. If you want to hang around for a few more minutes, that's cool. But if you got to get going, I don't want to keep you from what you got to do.
No, I'm pretty open.
All right, sweet. Yeah, we can hang out for a few more minutes. I don't know if Chris had any questions about any recent fights.
Did you see the Cowboy fight?
I did. I saw the highlight.
Yeah. I'm a big Cowboy fan, so I love his kicks. Have you ever been kicked really hard in the head, you know?
I don't think head kicks, but definitely like body shots hurt.
Yeah.
Or like stuff to like the legs. It doesn't necessarily hurt in the moment, but like the next day or like even like a half hour after, like limping around and like. Ugh.
Yeah, because I played soccer and I'd get bunged up on the legs, but it was never like a professional shin to the like calf or something.
Yeah, and then like a lot of guys will just like keep like focusing on the same exact spot, and it just builds up and builds up and builds up, and that sucks.
What was it like? Uriah Faber got like his leg blown up. I don't remember who that was against though.
I think it's Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's another good one lately. The Aldo fight.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely shows how good Holloway is. Like, for, you know, same thing with McGregor.
Yeah, I think Chael Sonnen said it perfectly. He was saying people have been talking all this crap on Aldo like he's washed up, and he's like, he's still top 10 pound for pound right now. He knocked out Jeremy Stevens and Renato Moicano. Like, that's impressive. And he only lost, I mean, I think his second fight he lost when he's like a kid, and then he only lost to Holloway and McGregor since then, and won like 20 fights or more in the midst of that. It's like, put some respect on Aldo's name.
Yeah, that's the thing is like this is such a like time sensitive sport. Like for so long people were like, oh, McGregor's the best, and then like he lost to Diaz, and then he lost to Khabib, and then now like people are like, oh, fuck McGregor. Like, it's just like, if you have one loss or like one shitty fight, people will just like I don't know, they'll just be like kind of writing you off.
It's insane because, like, it's not that Conor's bad; it's that Nate and Khabib are amazing fighters, and
Yeah.
I think people that maybe don't follow combat sports and maybe follow other sports and have that mentality, that kind of talk shit on people mentality, don't realize like what you're really getting into at the top level. Like, you don't have an easy day ever. I mean, nobody in the UFC isn't, anything less than spectacular at martial arts.
Yeah, for sure. And then like a lot of the people that'll like, either support you or like talk shit about you, like they don't necessarily know like what you go through, so that's kind of hard. It's like a lot of people will be like, oh, like you're so inspiring or whatever, like, oh, you're such a piece of shit. But like either way, they don't necessarily like understand the like what it is or like what it takes. They're just kind of seeing like the tailored, oh, here's a fight, that's it. They're not seeing like all the little stuff and like the having to fly out there and like sit in a sauna for fucking a couple hours and make weight and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's interesting for me to hear about it. Obviously, I only know about this kind of stuff secondhand, but I think it's important. I think Ariel Helwani does a really good job, and now that he's on ESPN, it's great of like letting fighters really express themselves and get the message they want out there, so that the sport can work. I mean, here's another thing. I don't know if you saw this one, but this is something that bothered me, and I wanted to talk to someone who's got real expertise. Johnny Walker in his fight with Justin Ledet. So he hit him with that spinning back fist. Have you saw that?
I think so. Yeah.
And he drops him, and he went for that soccer kick on the ground, and it misses Ledet's head. But Ledet's rolling away to get away from the soccer kick. And from my point of view, I figured, okay, so he threw an illegal strike, and Ledet had to react to it, which would then put him in a more vulnerable position to get attacked by the legal strikes that came after that finished the fight. And you can say, okay, sure, maybe he was out anyways and it was over. But, I mean, you can't really say that because the referee hadn't stopped it yet. And here he is dodging an illegal strike. So, yeah. I don't know. What's your take on that?
That stuff's hard because it's like how do you punish a guy for something that he, like, didn't hit the guy with, actually? Like compared to Greg Hardy, where he just actually did knee the guy in the face, like, that's kind of a... Like, if he whiffed it, maybe...
Should the ref step in then and stop it and give the Ledet a chance to recover? If he
that's
throws
hard.
it?
It's such a split second decision, and then like half the people are gonna boo, and then half the people are gonna be like, oh, you should just stop the fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. That's definitely a real hard thing, especially like the referees have such a hard job. I mean, you're not the ones getting hit in the face, but
Yeah. I refereed soccer, and it was a hard job. And that's not on the same level at all as
like
martial arts. Yeah.
Yeah, 10-year-old soccer.
Yeah. Hey, well, whatever.
I did too, but
it's high school sometimes, but whatever. But yeah, it's nothing like an MMA ref where, you've got to have a real knowledge of martial arts and sort of the flow of a fight and how a guy's really doing, which is a thing that I think maybe from a TV vantage point, it's easier to tell how someone's really doing in a fight because you get a really clear view. But I've seen sometimes where you can tell someone's fading and the referees just don't seem to get that. And other times where a guy's okay, but he's bloodied and the referee thinks he's in trouble. But he's fine. He's just got a busted nose or something. And he's totally, if you watched him fight before, you can tell like his technique is still tight, no problem. I mean, what do you think about all that?
I think, like as the fighter, it's definitely your responsibility to like let the referee know like that you're still in the fight. I think they should like be able to stop it like for pretty much everything, except for like chokes. Like I don't think a referee should ever stop a choke because like it's just gonna put the guy to sleep. Like it's not gonna kill him or anything. Compared to like the arm bar where it might like break their arm or something like that, or like just beating the dude to death. Like in all those other circumstances, they should definitely like have the power to step in, and like I would agree with like most of their decisions for the most part.
Yeah, because I was thinking, and I think a lot of people were too, that your fight on Contender Series, you should have gotten a stoppage win. Just that because it's the third round and it's a war, because you're not throwing like the hardest bombs on him, they're not going to stop it. But you're throwing so many strikes in a row, and he's not able to attack you. I mean, he's still moving, trying to defend, but he's not attacking. What do you think? Like in boxing, they sort of have a punch kind of limit, like McGregor versus Mayweather. He didn't go down, but there's it's too many in a row. Do you think MMA needs to look into something like that, or do you think it's still okay where it's at?
I think it's all right. It's definitely better than boxing, where guys will get like dropped and then like get back up and keep fighting for like 12 more rounds. Like, it's better, at least like head injury wise.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Like I feel like for the Contender guy, he was doing like exactly what he should be doing to not get the fight stopped, at least like the bare minimum. So I'm not like upset at the ref for not stopping that. Like, he was a super solid ref.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get the decision and understand it, because like you said, he was still moving and defending.
Yeah, he was at least doing like the bare minimum, like to keep it from getting stopped.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's a different mentality for someone like you than me, because you have to have that mentality of no matter what, you're gonna push through it and you're gonna come back and win. And I know he had that, because I mean, he was an undefeated fighter with a ton of skill. So I guess, yeah, the referee doesn't want to take that away from a fighter, that opportunity to come back.
For sure. And then like I feel like if they had stopped it, people would be like, "Oh, they shouldn't have stopped it." Like,
yeah,
there's no winning in that situation.
Yeah, you definitely can't please everybody with those types of decisions. So I don't know, Chris, you got anything else, or we can let you hop off of here pretty soon. Oh, the Anderson Silva one. Wanted to talk a little more about that. I think that was the last thing, unless you had something else.
I don't have anything else now. Just
cool.
Anderson and Adesanya.
Yeah, what do you think about that matchup? Because Anderson obviously still very skillful. He's been competitive in the fights he's had, even though they've been few and far between. Cormier fight, he still landed that body kick that hurt Cormier, even though he got wrestled most of the time. He's still dangerous. Yeah. Nick Diaz, he landed some good strikes. Brunson was competitive. I mean, the Bisping fight was competitive. Like, he's not completely done or anything the way some people would like to say, but I don't know. What do you think about sort of the older fighter taking on the young up-and-comer?
I really like Adesanya striking. Like, I'm super interested to see like how the fight plays out. But I think this would be a great way if the UFC was trying to build Adesanya up. Like, this would be a good kind of like peak type of thing. But like for a lot of my fights, like if I fight an older guy, it's kind of he might have more experience, but he's definitely a little more beat up. Like, he's taken more shots. Maybe like he's a little more hurt, like not as mobile as he used to be, not as fast. His reaction times aren't where they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely going to be an interesting fight, but I think Anderson Silva is still obviously a world-class fighter. Hall of Fame for sure. Like,
yeah, I would think, I'm sure that the odds will have Adesanya as the favorite, but I just don't see why. I mean, you can't count Anderson Silva out. I mean, it's just,
for sure,
he's beaten so many legends.
Yeah, I think as the younger guy, I definitely would be a little more biased to another, younger guy who's kind of on the come up.
Yeah, I think I'm the same age as Adesanya, actually. So I should probably be in his corner. But he's been training for like forever, so by the time I got that much training, I'd be 40, and also I'm not skilled, so it would suck.
You could be the next Couture.
Oh, dude, I don't know. That guy's crazy. I heard something on The Fighter and the Kid about that. I don't know. Well, moving on.
I did too, yeah.
Oh, yeah, back to you in the studio, Chris.
Yeah.
All right. Weird. Yeah, so like, what else are you doing, getting into for fun outside the cage? Are you basically just kind of just chilling and doing your routine and improving?
Yeah, I'm trying to relax as much as I can. Like just playing video games and stuff in my spare time, and then just hanging out.
I think, did we talk about video games last time? I was gonna ask what did you play?
Ooh, I was playing Siege for a while, Rainbow Six. Now I'm playing through Dark Souls.
Oh, how's Dark Souls?
I don't know. I had to like go into it kind of expecting to get fucked up a little bit, and then I get stuck a little bit, and then I just keep grinding through, and it's definitely fun.
Is that Dark Souls or a cage fight?
Yeah.
It's not too much different.
Damn. Dark Souls and cage fighting is the same thing. I feel like Dark Souls, yeah, that's hilarious.
A similar amount of stress and,
Yeah.
disappointment.
Hell yeah. That's hilarious. I was going to say, I don't know, do you keep up with YouTube and everything? This is completely unrelated to MMA and stuff, but PewDiePie going against the T-Series and all that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't know, that's kind of weird. It's like a weird, matchup.
Yeah, there's a part of me, even though PewDiePie's not American or anything, it feels like the American spirit to have, this independent person rise to the top over. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to watch some of their videos because I was like, oh, what is this? Like another meme channel or something? Like I didn't know what it was, and it's just like weird Bollywood stuff.
Yeah, I never figured out exactly what it was, other than excuse me, that is Bollywood, which I never really got into that.
I have no idea.
I'm sure it's great, but I don't know. I never got into it. A lot of people like it. Like they play it in movie theaters around where I live. So, 45 minutes away. Like there's a ton of it. So there's definitely people that like it.
Definitely a very targeted audience.
Yeah. But anyways, enough about Bollywood.
Well, India is one of the biggest countries, though,
Yeah.
so it's like
True.
population.
Okay.
True. Yeah. But I don't know much about it.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
I don't really like it.
Yeah. So like with school and stuff, were there any things you thought that you might be going into? I know there's a lot of top martial artists that even Dolph Lundgren's got some crazy science degree. But a lot of martial artists use their kind of problem solving skills for other things. Did you have any interest like that in school, or is it more athletically focused?
Well, I was kind of more poor growing up, so college was never really an option. But I kind of my last year of high school, I went to one of the local community colleges and did the running start type of thing. So I'm kind of thinking more like a business degree. I don't think I'll be able to get electrical engineering or whatever it is that Dolph Lundgren has, but
Yeah.
definitely if it can help me run a business better, that be convenient.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you set yourself up for that next step. That's the way to go. But anyways, man, I'll let you get going. Thanks so much for the time. This is fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
And if you wanted us to share anything, any links, anything you're working on or doing, just feel free to send them over, and we'll definitely plug it. Any sponsors or anything.
All right, sweet. Good talking to you guys.
Yeah, you too, man. All right, cool. Peace.
All right, later.